Let me say hello to all from ninth chapter. It's called Secrets. We understood that we'll learn some secrets in this chapter. Let's begin. Joe, one October afternoon, Joe caught a bus into the town and a busy street. She stopped in front of a building and she hesitated for a while. She didn't know what to do, but the fourth time she decided to go into the building. When she went in a building, Lori saw her. And after nearly 10 minutes, I think, yes, 10 minutes later, Joe came. She wasn't so pleased when she saw Lori. As both of them had secrets, Lori suggested sharing their secrets. But Joe said that, please keep it secret. And then she said that she had left two of her stories with a newspaper man. It was a really nice secret. And after that, Lori threw his head into the air and he said, Miss March, the famous American writer. He, he said this by catching his head. Joe looked so pleased. Lori's secret was that he found one of Mac's gloves, which he lost at the picnic. Let me talk about this part. Do you remember that picnic, the Lawrence's picnic? Lots of people went there. Also, Mr. Brooke was there. Mr. Brooke was Laurie's tutor, private teacher. You remember this? Uh, on that day, Mac lost one of her gloves, but she didn't know what happened to her gloves. But Laurie saw that gloves. But we couldn't understand who took it, how he could see it. We couldn't understand because he whispered three words in Joe's ear. We couldn't hear. After learning it, Joe looked surprised and displeased. Joe didn't like this news. In fact, I think it was a symbol of a love, okay? And Joe didn't like the idea someone coming to take Meg away. Joe didn't like this. Meg was growing into a woman, of course. After that, Joe and Lori ran off down the hill and tried to reach the bottom. It was just like a race. That was fun. At that moment, someone passed by. Who was that person? It was Meg. She yelled, Joe, when will you start to behave like a young lady? She cried out. Because according to Meg, Joe behaved in a very childish way. Joe understood that Meg was serious and Meg was growing into a woman. 2 Saturdays later, Joe and Lori again chased each other over the garden by laughing and waving a newspaper. Meg saw them again, thought that Joe would never behave like a young lady. Joe was like a child, she thought. After that, Joe came in and began to read the story in the newspaper, which was so touching and moving also. The story which was so touching and moving. And in this story, let me talk about the characters for you. It was a love story about two people called Viola and Angela. And most of the characters died in the end. But the girls enjoyed it. And Meg cried a little at the sad parts. Joe put down the newspaper and everyone was really curious about who wrote it. But after that, when they learned who wrote it, they were so proud. They were so proud. and everyone began to speak at the same time. Tell us all about it. How much did you get for it? What will father say? Won't Larry love? Everyone began to ask questions. But at that time, there was no happier or prouder family than the Marches, really. Okay, so I finished this. I'll send you the worksheets and please try to answer them. I hope you like this story. Okay, see you next time.